Hi, guys. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hayani, but everyone calls me Hi. I'm from Brazil. And I'm here to talk a little bit about Web3, NFTs, and the crypto universe. I'm not sure how much you guys know about Web3. I know you had a lot of talks today where you learned a lot about this universe. But my job here is to teach people a little bit about Web3. So I have a bachelor degree in business administration. I'm an entrepreneur, NFT collector, crypto investor, and content creator. Today, I act as a Web3 educator and project consultant through my social media outlets. And my focus is on educating people on how these emerging technologies are changing the world that we live in. So I'm going to start playing a video. Let me just see if the video will work here on my slide. But this video is Bill Gates explaining the internet in 1995. Okay. Let me share my screen here. I think that will be a little better. Hold on. Sorry, just one quick second. Okay. Now you guys can see my screen. I'll just make this bigger and I'll play the video here.
What about this internet thing? Do you know anything about that?
Sure.
What the hell is that exactly?
Well, it's become a place where people are publishing information.
Right.
So everybody can have their own homepage. Companies are there. The latest information. It's wild what's going on. You can send electronic mail to people. It is the big new thing.
Yeah, but it's easy to criticize something you don't fully understand, which is my position here.
Go ahead.
But I can remember a couple of months ago, there was like a big breakthrough announcement that on the internet or on some computer deal, they were going to broadcast a baseball game. You could listen to a baseball game on your computer. And I just thought to myself, does radio ring a bell? You know what I mean? It's just...
There's a difference. You can listen to the baseball game whenever you want.
All right. Do tape recorders ring a bell?
So I hope you guys could hear that. If not, there were some subtitles. But that was what people thought about the internet in 1995. Everybody was laughing at Bill Gates because he was explaining how the internet worked. And that's a little bit how I feel today when I explain to people about Web3. But here I did bring a little bit of technology curve adoption. As we can see, the more that we develop, the faster we adopt technologies. And that's mainly because of the internet. Who would have thought in 1995, when people were laughing at Bill Gates because of the internet, that we wouldn't be able to live without it, right? Today, we're all here online learning a lot with a lot of these incredible women that spoke today, all thanks to the internet. And we are entering a new era of the internet, which is called Web3. It was a term that I hadn't heard before. I didn't even know there were Web 1 and Web 2 before I started hearing about Web 3. So I'm here to explain to you a little bit about what Web 3 is, what it actually is, and how it is working. Okay. Oh, this slide did not work out great here either, but as we can see here, I'm gonna just try to explain here a little bit how this was. These were kind of going round. So in Web 1 was the internet in the early stages where we just used the internet to read the information. We were not able to interact in any form with that information that was there. So we would just go on websites to read the information, and that was all the interactions that we had. So we had Internet Explorer, we had Yahoo, we had Netscape, all of those apps where we would enter the internet, read what was there, and then just log out. Later in the early 2000, maybe, we entered the social media era, right? Web 2, which is what we live in right now. We have apps like WhatsApp, we have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. It's an internet where you can read the information, but you can also write some of the information that is there. You can also contribute to the information that is there. You're also a content creator. This is what we live in today. And what we're building, it's the Web3. It's an internet where you can read all the information. You can also contribute and write information in there, but you can also own part of that information. So Web3 gives its users the ability to own a piece of the internet through property rights. Okay. And some of the apps that we have here, we have this first one here is Cost TV. It's like a YouTube, but on YouTube today, the only people that earn anything with the videos that they post is whoever posts the videos and YouTube itself. The viewers don't get anything through participating in that ecosystem. In Cost TV, it's a little bit different. You actually earn tokens just by watching videos, interacting with videos through comments, leaving your likes on the videos. So you also are a part of the ecosystem. We have right under here OpenSea, which is one of the biggest marketplaces for NFTs today. We have MetaMask, which is a digital wallet where we have all of our digital cryptocurrencies. And we have Bitcoin, which is, I just put Bitcoin there, but it's just to represent the money of Web3, right? All the cryptocurrencies that we have today. Going on here to the next slide, I'm going to talk a little bit about blockchain because blockchain is the center of Web3. In simple terms, blockchain is a technology that groups together a set of informations that connect. It's a database that records all of the informations that happens on a particular network and can be consulted at any time if it's a public blockchain, right? Blockchain is the core technology inside of Web3. When we talk about Web3, we're talking about all of the technologies that do involve blockchains. NFTs only exist because of blockchain. Cryptocurrencies only exist because of blockchain. Everything in Web3 is blockchain, basically. So just so you guys know how it works a little bit here, the blockchain is a database of information. All of this information is not stored in a single place, but across a bunch of servers that participate in the network. So this is what we mean when we say decentralized. There is no single focal point. For example, today, when we use Instagram, Facebook, all of that, all of our data is stored inside of Meta's servers, right? In the blockchain, that would be across a bunch of different computers and a bunch of different servers. And also a difference that we have here is that identities are kept secret, right? Through cryptography. And all the transactions that happen on the blockchain, they're available to be viewed by anyone at any time. You're not going to be certain who that person is, but it does leave a record of whatever happens in there. And if it's on a public blockchain, you can just see that information anytime that you want. And just to simplify, I know it's a little technical when we start talking about blockchain, but I did bring here a couple of use cases. Some of the ways the blockchain is being used today. So when I talk about these technologies, I'm not talking about just things that how it will be used in the future. I'm talking about how the technology is actually being used today. So today we have document authentication here in Brazil. All of the whenever you do need like to sign a document or something like that, we are already using blockchain to validate all of that information and keep track of whoever is signing that document, where the document was created, and everything like that. We have issuance of certificates. When you graduate, for example, usually you get like a piece of paper saying that you graduated college and everything like that. Today, we do have some applications that do record that information in the blockchain. So whenever you apply for a job, you can just send a link over to validate that certificate to make sure that that certificate is correct. And all of the information about your college records, everything are recorded within that certificate that is on the blockchain. And the information is immutable. So you can't really fake any of that information because it's not just on a piece of paper, it is on the blockchain. Health information. We also have some countries today that are using the blockchain to record health information. And this is very useful because if you can bring all of these well, today, if you need to go to a doctor, for example, a new doctor, you need to bring a bunch of exams, a bunch of documents that you have on paper at your house, or you do have some labs that have all of this information digitalized in an app, but it's all centralized. If it's on the blockchain, anyone could consult that information at any time. So there are a couple of countries that do have all of the health information already on the blockchain. So whenever you go from one hospital to the other, they can see all of your records, all of your information, and you can't really fake what's there. Like everything is on record and it's immutable. And of course, the most known use for blockchain today is decentralized financial system. So we do have the cryptocurrencies, for example, and I will be talking a little bit about Bitcoin because it is the most known digital currency that we have today. So going a little bit into Bitcoin, what is it, right? So it is it's money, just like dollar, for example. The difference is that it is decentralized. We don't have any government um, that control Bitcoin. We don't have any one person that controls Bitcoin. It is decentralized. Um, and it does have a limit. So there will only be 21 million Bitcoins ever. The government can just go and print more Bitcoins if they want. That is just not possible. Okay. So just bringing some history here. Bitcoin white paper was published in 2008. That's when everything started. We're 14 years post when Bitcoin started. It was actually launched. The first Bitcoin was launched in 2009. In 2010, a guy named Laszlo Hanizak bought two pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. That is almost, I think it's $4 million today, something like that. I do remember the number in reais, which is our currency here in Brazil, but I don't remember it in dollars exactly. And just bringing here a little bit further down the line, in 2021, we had the all time high, which was the most that Bitcoin already reached, which is $69,045. And the price of Bitcoin today is around $30,000. So it does fluctuate a lot. But as we can see throughout the years, in the last 14 years, it's just something that has gone up. It did go down, but if you see throughout the years, a lot of people do believe that Bitcoin will, especially because it does have a limit of how much Bitcoin will exist. A lot of people do believe in Bitcoin. El Salvador actually is a country that adopted Bitcoin as the official currency, aside with the dollar. So just a little bit of information here about Bitcoin specifically. We do have over 20,000 coins and digital currencies, but Bitcoin was the first one and it is the most known. Oh, I did forget to translate here, but this is just the evolution of payment methods. In my opinion, crypto is just a new payment method that we are evolving to. So we started with banknotes, we did go into checks, credit cards, online bank transfers. Today we do a lot of payments with NFC payments, right? You just touch your phone to pay for something or your watch, for example. And I do believe that crypto is just an evolution that we are slowly going into. Now let's talk a little bit about NFTs, right? I did explain a little bit about how Web3 works, a little bit about blockchain, cryptocurrency. What is NFTs? What are NFTs, right? So NFT stands for a non-fungible token. But to understand what is a non-fungible token, I did bring an example here of what fungible is. So for example, if I have $10, and you have $10 and we just exchange money, we still have $10. So a dollar bill is something fungible. It doesn't matter which dollar bill you have. If it's a $10 bill, you will always have a $10 bill. Something non fungible, for example, is the Mona Lisa. You can't just go to the museum, take a picture of the Mona Lisa, and have it mounted like on your wall. Everyone knows there's only one Mona Lisa. And it's not that one that you have printed in your living room. It is the one that is in Paris in the museum. So that is what non-fungible is. You can't exchange one for the other. I can't just buy like a Pablo Picasso and try to exchange it for the Mona Lisa. They're both unique. Um, so one is not worth the same as the other. Even if the pricing is the same, they're not essentially the same. We can't talk about NFTs without talking about Bored Ape Yacht Club. So Bored Ape is the collection of the famous. We do have Madonna, we have Paris Hilton, we have Justin Bieber, just as an example of some of the famous people that do own a Bored Ape. We have Neymar here. He's a big figure in Brazil. For if anyone here likes soccer, you'll know who Neymar is. So they all have a Bored Ape, right? And the pricing of the Bored Ape, I took this print screen today. Too bad that the when I saved as a PDF, it didn't really bring the pricing here, but it's around 34 ETH today. And that is approximately $70,000 for an NFT. And why would someone pay for that, right? And what I did bring here, what makes it worth so much? So it's not just the fact of being an NFT that will give the item value, just like not every painting is worth millions, right? The different the difference is that an NFT is not just art. We have the possibility to be part of exclusive communities with highly influential people and have access to exclusive content. So whoever has a Bored Ape, for example, which is this NFT collection, they do have access to some exclusive parties. They do make part of this group of exclusive people. I have a friend that does have a Bored Ape, and he is like in a WhatsApp group with Neymar, for example. So it does give you access to a lot of influential people, and that is something that gives value to the NFT. A lot of people also invest in this company. They invest in Bored Ape, believing that it will be the next Disney, for example. So it's like they're buying a share of the company without actually buying shares. They're buying NFTs. But some other use cases for NFTs as well. NFTs are not just monkey pictures. We do have some plane tickets being emitted through NFTs. We have this company in Argentina that is doing plane tickets through NFT. And the difference is today, if you buy a plane ticket and you can't actually go to the trip, you end up either losing that plane ticket or you end up being, you need to pay a fee to change the date of your flight. You can't just send that ticket to someone else, for example. So through NFTs, you're the actual owner of that plane ticket. You can send that ticket to someone, and what this company does is that 2 days before your actual flight, you can't make any changes to that ticket anymore. But before that date, you can do whatever you want with that ticket. You can sell it for more than you purchased for. You can send it as a gift to someone, and then 2 days before your trip, you actually have to insert all of the information of whoever will be traveling. We have real estate. We do have a history of a house being sold on OpenSea, which is the NFT marketplace. Why would I sell a house if it isn't a physical item, right? But why would I put it as an NFT? Um, to facilitate payment, first of all, because you can't really just go to the bank and then have the bank give you $200,000 that is on your account. You usually, to get that kind of money out of the bank, you do need to give the bank a notice or something like that. It does take a couple of days for you to have your money in hands in order for you to pay for that house, for example. In crypto, all you need to do is press a button and the money will be transferred directly to the other account. The person will receive the money, and you will have also the digital property here of your house. We do have games. It is a pretty common use case for NFTs. In regular market today, we just purchase the game and all you can do with it is, well, if you play the game, and once you don't want to play the game anymore, you can't really do anything about it. You can't get your money back. But if you have an NFT to access that game, once you're done with it, you can just sell that NFT to someone else because you're actually the owner. You have intellectual property of that NFT. We also have digital properties, and show tickets. We do have a lot of artists, they're doing tickets through NFTs. Snoop Dogg just released something that is called, I think, Snoop Dogg Passport. It is an NFT that you purchase where you will have access to a lot of content of where he will be in his tour. So we do have NFTs being used in a lot of different ways. NFTs are not just that monkey image or something like that. We have a lot of different use cases, and I get really excited whenever I talk about this. Here, I did bring some examples of some big names that are getting into the NFT space. So we do have Gucci, Tiffany diving into NFTs. We have big banks getting into the metaverse and the future of NFTs through digital banking. We have Adidas selling 23 million in its first NFT drop. We have Nike. Nike is the company, Web2 company that made the most money out of NFTs so far, I do believe. They made 185 million by August last year. So I do bet this year they made a lot more. We have Spotify testing playlists that could be unlocked by NFT holders. We have Starbucks selling a bunch of NFTs, and they do have their loyalty program working right now through NFTs. We have Netflix using NFTs to harvest engagement data. So they did release Love Death Robots, and throughout the episodes, they used to put a QR code where people could scan it, and they were measuring how engaged people were in the show by how many times the QR codes were scanned. And by scanning the QR code, you would get an NFT. Um, so we have all of these big brands, all of this big money getting into metaverse, NFTs, Web3, blockchain, and all of that. So if all of these big tech companies are looking into that, why shouldn't we as well, right? Um, so just to wrap it up here, I like bringing this phrase: the world is changing. Are you going to keep up or get left behind? And I did put a QR code here with all of my links in case you guys want to get in touch or anything like that. Like I said, I create content educating people about Web3. Most of my content is in Portuguese, but as you guys can see, I do speak English. So if you have any questions, my DMs are always open. You guys can send me messages, and we can also collaborate in other projects. I'd like to thank you guys so much for your time. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you.